Today is the 1st of February.
Already.
Oh
my God. It was just September 29th the other day.
Are you kidding me? It was 1981 the other day. So long before 1981, long before 1881, long before 081, we have been asking a question. What is the meaning of life? So we're going to do something pretty interesting. We're going to take a very brand new, current media, which is Joe Rogan. You ever heard of that guy?
Yes.
Okay, and then we're going to take a very cool visual learning tool called After School. You ever heard of After School?
I did a couple days ago from you.
Well, these guys rock, man. I mean, they're easy to find. School spelled with the yo-K kind of a thing. But we're going to talk about the meaning of life. And then we're going to go back and hear what Christ says about it, starting when Christ was 4 years old.
4?
Yeah, 4. 4 years old. We're going to go back and get some lessons from 4-year-old Christ. So if you go to Locals, everybody, if you go to Locals, you can actually get the PDF. I tried to upload the PDF. I think I got it up to Cloud Hub. I couldn't get the PDF to Gab, but across all of our social networks, you're going to find the links to the things that I actually do, and we are pretty much everywhere. Gandalph's everywhere, man. So Brandy's done such a great job helping support what we're doing here. So, the Cloud Hub's over here. So if you'll go and find my links, it usually says show notes. So, but I try and do my very best to give everyone all of the same resources I am working with. Does that make sense?
It does.
What are we all supposed to go do our own thing of? What's it called?
Research.
Oh, no way. That's a bad word. Well, it's way more than 4 letters. Oh, wait, Biden's in office. Everything's more inflated.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there goes YouTube. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the meaning of life.
There was I was dealing with, this is a few months back, I was dealing with a question of, stupid topic, but the meaning of life, right? What's the meaning?
How could that be stupid, though?
Well, in a sense,
it's trite.
It's trite. You're not supposed to think about it. It's something you ask your parents when you're young. Yes. They tell you don't worry about it, or they say,
go get a job, hippie.
Yeah, exactly.
If this guy is naval, does that mean that he's sort of in the belly of it, and he might know the right button? Naval, belly, but did I do that right?
That sounds right.
That's horrible dad humor, just in case everyone's forgotten what that looks like. Oh, dad humor is the thing you get at the table when no one's staring at their phone and you're having dinner together. Oh, wait, that doesn't happen anymore.
When was the last time that happened?
I had a fantastic dinner just yesterday with a good friend of mine, and we ignored our phones. Oh, I think you were trying to call me. Naval. Let's get to the belly of the button, or the belly button. Trust your gut. That's the naval guy.
Exactly. Go get a job, you freaking hippie. Or here's God. God is the meaning of life, right? Yeah. And so I was just trying to resolve for myself, like, what could the answer be? Right? Not what is the answer, but what could the answer be?
Okay, so in order to do this, that in order to do a could, right, you have to start critically thinking. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
And so at a core level, I was forced to kind of hunt down all these weird little things and really
I was forced to hunt down all these weird little things that I can't find on CNN. Oh, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened today?
If you're talking to me, you know where I was today.
I know. So look, this is, let's go do this. Let's look at the last 24 hours. Look at this. So this means people are not paying attention. CNN suffers worst ratings ever. 57 minutes ago. Worst ratings in 9 years. 6 hours ago. Disgraced Fox News. Chris Wallace. It's disintegrating. People are starting to critically think. So this is here's what he's talking about. He says, "What about all these things?" And then he says, "What could the answer be?" Well, I don't think you ever get the right answer. Is that the right question? Do you?
You don't. Promise
Okay.
you don't.
It's not going to take me 20 minutes to get through this 5 minutes. I swear.
Understand for myself, and it's got to be personal.
I have
to establish
I have to stand under myself. I have to understand for myself. I have to stand under myself personally, establishing for myself, not standing under, but myself, a personal me.
So would you say you have to understand?
I don't like that word. I heard Melissa Hines say that the other day, and I don't know that I really like it a lot. But yeah, understand is better than understand. Like, damn it, Randy, I think you're right. Shit.
myself what it could and could not be, and that gave me some level of peace. So now I don't have to keep asking that question.
What is the meaning of life?
I mean, I think the question is more interesting than the answer. Everyone should explore this on their own. But let me just
because the answer takes an occult relationship with a possession. You have to be possessed by an idea that is hidden. Occult means hidden. Possession means complete commitment. So then the answer everyone should explore is on their own. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes.
Explore a few parts with you, right? Okay. So first is, if I gave you an answer, if I said the meaning of life is to please God, well, which God? Okay, Judeo-Christian God. Well, okay, why that one? Why this thing? The problem is it's a why question. You can keep asking why forever, right? Any answer I give you, you'll just ask why again, why again,
like
why
a little
again.
Kid.
That's right. And you end up in a place called Agrippa's trilemma. Okay, this is a philosophical exercise, but I kind of thought it through, then Googled.
Have you ever heard of Agrippa's trilemma before?
Around
and today.
No, not till today. Okay, there's a show here, but I have to build it the right way because this is like a renaming festival of Olympic renaming. Because if you want to make something confusing, what do?
Change its name.
Thank you.
There's a thing called Agrippa's trilemma. And Agrippa's trilemma says that any questioning like this, the why, will always end in one of three places. Okay. First is infinite regress, right? Why? Because of this. Why that? Why that? And just keep going forever. Mm-hmm. The second is circular reasoning. Well, A. Why A? Because of B. Well, why B? Because of A. Right? You get trapped in that. Or the third is an axiom. And the most popular axiom is God. But it could be anything because of math, because of science, because of the Big Bang, because of simulation, right? These are all axioms. These are all just stopping points. Saying simulation, we're in a simulation, or saying it's the Big Bang is just another way of saying God. It's just God's a dirty word, so we don't use it as much anymore, but same thing.
So what's another word for simulation? Starts with an M and has UV at the end. I gave that hint not for you, Brandy, but for all the people that only watch movies.
I'm looking in the chat to see if anyone answers you.
Well, you know me, I'm a little impatient. So this circular reasoning, the axiom, the Big Bang, the matrix, the only thing this is missing is on the right-hand side of the graphic underneath that flower of life with two eyes, not one of Saturnalia. It should be 3, 6, and 9. But well, I'm not going to go there in this show unless I have extra time. Hey, when's the last show where I had extra time?
Yeah, that's when you were on Talk Time, dear.
I think you said Candyland, didn't you?
Yeah, right. Candyland.
So you end up in one of these three dead ends, essentially, right? So there is no answer. The real answer is because. Right?
What is the meaning of life?
Yeah, you get to make up your own answer is the beauty. If there was a single answer, we would not be free. We would be trapped. Because then we would all have to live to that answer. Then we'd be Borg-like robots, each one competing with each other to fulfill that single meaning more than the others. Back to signaling, like I'm better at it than you are. But luckily, there is no answer. So you just do whatever you want.
The meaning of life. It's funny that's the basis of all existential angst, that you don't
know why you're here.
And you have this feeling that it could be meaningless. It is, I mean, if you when you start pondering the multiverse, the universe, the galaxies, the solar system, the planet, the organism, the cells inside the organism, the bacteria, the parasites,
Right.
the symbiotic relationship we have to our environment, and you start going, Jesus Christ, what am I, just a little piece of this thing? It's like,
Well, the answers to all the great questions are paradoxes.
yeah.
So, for example, you're asking, like, do I matter? That's like really the question you asked, right? Well, how do I matter?
Okay, so another word for a paradox is a parable, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and what is Christ's favorite thing to talk in?
Favorite thing for what?
To talk in. When big crowds ask Christ questions, what does he do? He tells a story,
Yes, metaphors.
a metaphor, a parable. A paradox is a confusing metaphor. Okay, does everybody get that?
Yep.
So we're going to get to some not quote unquote scripture. I'm not going to read from the pulpit like I'm going to stop there before I describe a lot of people in clergy that I don't like. We're going to talk about, oh, wait, it's 4-year-old Christ. So we're going to get, are you smarter than a 4-year-old from Christ?
That sounds really great.
I would say that's only a minute and a half away, but it's taken me 11 minutes to get through 3. So we're 5 minutes out.
Matter in this infinite universe? Well, on the one hand, you're separate. No 2 points are the same. Every 2 points are infinitely different. You're completely separated. No one will have your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your experience. So your life is a single player game. You're trapped inside your head and you're just aware of a bunch of things going on, and that's it. On the other hand, I cannot say the word Joe Rogan without invoking the entire universe. Joe Rogan, alien comes along, says, what's that? Joe Rogan. What's Joe Rogan? It's a human. What's a human? Bipedal ape. What's an ape on the earth? What's the earth? Planet. What's a planet? Solar system. Where was the carbon made? Inside stars, right?
Okay, so I want to say that if I want to make a difference, according to the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto, and I speak words, they make a difference in the cellular universe, right?
Right.
Okay, so I want to watch this really smart guy, the naval guy, the belly button guy. Here's Mr. Belly Button. Here's Mr. Joe Rogan, who's obviously a success, right? He's going to go through an 11-point rapid fire set of how to rename God. Watch this.
Joe Rogan without invoking the entire
I can't say the word God without invoking the entire
universe. You're trapped inside your head.
Trapped inside your head. I'm all worried. It's fear.
And you're just aware of a bunch of things going
You're
on.
just aware of a bunch of things going on because I'm watching television and my face is stuck in my phone. We did a show the other day, 1,267. Was that the number of times you look at your phone every day?
2,000.
Oh, did I just look by the first two? Was it 2164? Anyway, it's
yeah,
a lot.
2164. That's the one.
It was a huge amount. Well, that's all the things over here in this guy's head. Oh, where's my phone? What am I doing? It's all horrible. The great question are paradoxes. Why am I in the universe? Well, you know what most people do? They look at Instagram, see how many likes they have about their universe.
Yes, and how many friends they have on any social media site.
Hey, can I put quotes around that, friends, please? Hey, I'm trying to hit my 4 minutes for 90 seconds mark here. Let me keep going. Watch him redefine. If he's going to put God in for Joe Rogan and then listen.
And that's it. On the other hand, I cannot say the word
God, Jesus Christ, the risen Savior,
Joe Rogan without invoking
I can't say Jesus Christ, the Savior, God, Creator, Great Spaghetti Monster, whatever you want to say, without invoking the entire universe around that name. Do you see that?
I see it.
So watch this really intelligent guy talk himself out of that.
The entire universe. Joe Rogan, alien comes along, says, what's that? Joe Rogan.
What is God? Oh, wait, he doesn't ask because he is God. And he's not an alien. Well, he's an alien to here, he's God. And if I understood more about this, I wouldn't serve him. Because I'm not serving a God I don't understand. So here, watch this. Okay, that's number one.
What's Joe Rogan? It's a human.
That's number two.
Human bipedal
that's
ape.
number three.
What's an ape?
That's number four.
The earth.
That's number five.
Planet.
That's number six.
Planet.
That's
Solar
number
system.
7.
Where was the carbon
That's
made?
number 8.
Inside stars.
That's number
right?
9.
It's like I have to create the entire universe.
I have to create the entire universe. So, Brandy, what do you do with your voice when you open your mouth? What do you do?
Speak.
You create your entire universe.
That's right.
To just say the words Joe Rogan. So in that sense, you're connected to everything. It's inseparable. So the words Joe Rogan. So in that sense, you're connected to everything. It's inseparable. To just say
Jesus
the words
Christ.
Joe Rogan. So in that sense, you're connected to everything. It's inseparable. So the answer to that question of do I matter is I am nothing and I am everything. And you'll find this with all the great questions. The answers are all paradoxes, which is why at some level, it's sort of pointless to pursue them. To find a trite answer.
Pointless to pursue them to find a trite answer. As he brings together a toriad coil of nothing and everything. Is it making sense?
Yes, it is.
Sort of like I'm giving, but the act of pursuing them is actually really useful because then it gives you certain intrinsic understanding in your life that brings
that looks a lot like Ysidral. That looks a huge amount like, look at this tree right here, and then look at this tree right here. This is the oldest consistent multi-dimensional model, and it's been made into movies all around us. This is Ysidral. Looks a lot like that tree. That's all I'm saying.
the level of peace.
Life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning. We bring no life. Life has no meaning. Each of us has a meaning, and we bring it to life. It is a waste to be asking the question when you are the answer. Will you read that out loud for me again?
Life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning and we bring it to life. It is a waste to be asking the question when you are the answer.
Okay. Let me talk about the most narcissistic of all answers about life and who you are. I promised you some 4-year-old Jesus. You ready?
I'm ready.
Now, this is from the book of Joseph. So right up here, we all know this part of the story. Not much time after, an angel says to Joseph, return to the land of Judah, for there who are dead, who sought the child's life. I can go back around through the king of Egypt who wanted Christ dead, which led to, a Moses type of killing of all the children of it. And I can go through all that, but that's 66 book scripture. And I've lost my confidence in a lot of that. So for everyone who's listening to my voice right now, live or on replay, and you say, I'm a heretic. Well, I would be pleased if you called me a heretic. That's a pretty complex word. That means you might actually talk to me about the fact that I'm not. I'm telling you, this is an account that was hidden from us, censored. This is the Hunter Biden laptop. Did I say that the right way?
I think you did.
I will assume with your silence that I should shut up about that. Thank you. Okay. Now, let's come into our story. Christ has just returned to Galilee, or Christ is returning to Galilee from Egypt, and this starts a huge blank in the regular scripture that we read. That's why I wish Sassy was here. She could give me another ancient description of what she remembers of this time. Okay, it comes to pass. I'm in the PDF's on Locals. Go get it. It's not just this. It's all of the apocryphal scriptures in one PDF. And it came to pass that after the return of Jesus from Egypt, when he was in Galilee, and remember, he left over here. Wait, how old is Jesus? In the 4th year of his age. Hey, Brandy. Do you remember the TV show about Christ when he was 4?
I do not.
Well, that's because they hid it from us. One Sabbath day, okay, so Christ is 4 years old. He's returned to Galilee, where he was not born, because of course he was. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. Everyone knows that part of his history, and I only have 39 minutes and 42 seconds left. Okay.
And a commercial that needs to fit in between.
Damn it. Please remind me in 20 minutes. Okay, so.
It is 20 minutes. It's past 20 minutes.
From now. 20 minutes from now. I'm not doing a commercial this early.
Okay, cool.
My commercial is currently for Christ the 4-year-old child.
Yes, awesome.
You want to hear his pitch?
This
gets spicy really quick. I know that I am the human ambient, and if you listen to my long readings, that I will put even the giants to sleep. But this is an action read. So Christ is 4 years old. Oh, it's a Sunday. He's out playing with children by the bed of the Jordan when he sat down. So it's a 4-year-old kid playing in the mud, making holes in the mud with channels between them, right? So 4-year-olds being 4-year-olds, Christ sits down. He makes himself 7 pools with mud, to each of which he makes channels, through which he brought it from the stream into the pool, and he sent it back again. So he made a 7-point chakra chain of water. Now, there's this other 4-year-old. And you know what he is? What's that say right there?
The son of the devil.
Well, okay, so what do you think Christ does about this? Do you know what he does? He kills him. Not kidding. With an envious mind, the child of the devil, the son of the devil, he shuts up the channels. That means he came up and messed with Christ's little water thingy in the mud. Now, with an envious mind, he shut up the channels which supplied water to the pools. I'll bet you they were glowing in all the colors of the chakra chain. I'll bet you that's why he was envious. And he overthrew what Jesus had. Hold on. What Jesus had made. Oh, so 4-year-old. Now, Christ is a 4-year-old. Jesus says, woe unto thee, son of death, son of Satan. Dost thou destroy the works which I have wrought? Now, is this Christ as a 25-year-old?
No.
Is this David as an adult with the flower of life on his shield, using shofars to slay with the power of God? No. This is 4-year-old Christ. And with a quarrel. Oh, no, wait, I missed something. Christ kills him. Dost thou destroy the works which I have wrought? So this is one 4-year-old kid rising up against another 4-year-old kid going, oh, but when Christ goes, and traditionally that's known as a raspberry, by the way, he straight away had done this. He died. So I want to say early here, Christ as a 4-year-old has a little bit of a temper. Tell me what happens next, man. You start it then with.
Then with a quarrelsome voice.
Get closer to your mic, please. Speak up.
Oh, hold up.
So hold on. I broke the rhythm. Just now, Christ made pools in the sand, and the kid came up and messed with him, and Christ killed him with a word. What happens next?
You ready this time?
You then with
a quarrelsome voice, the parents of the dead cried against Mary and Joseph, saying to them, your son hath cursed our son, and he is dead.
Now, hold on. Stop right there for a second. We're in the park around the corner from the house. And, we're our parents. Our kids are about the same. We've seen each other before. I've just gotten back to town. You haven't seen me in a minute. And I just killed your son with a word with my son. Are you pissed?
A little bit, I'm sure.
Okay, keep going. and he is dead. The other parent says.
When Joseph and Mary heard, they came at once to Jesus on account of the complaint of the parents of the boy and the crowd of Jews. But Joseph secretly said to Mary, I dare not speak to him, but do thou admonish him and say, why hast thou raised against us the enmity of the people? And why do we bear the painful enmity of men? And when his mother had come to him, she asked him, saying, my Lord, what hath he done that he should die? But he said, he was worthy of death, because he destroyed the works which I had wrought.
Okay, so stop right there. Stop right there for a second. This is 4-year-old Christ. Over here, we were watching a thing. Oh, that's different. Oh, that's Duke Ferdinand, Serbian, before he was assassinated. What we're talking about here is 4-year-old words. And he says, he is worthy of death because he destroyed the works which I had wrought. So everyone wants to talk around and talk about whether or not they can ascend, or whether they're worthy, or whether the enemy's filled them with fear. If you destroy what the Lord has brought to you, that's different than ignoring, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Therefore his mother besought him, saying, and said to him, arise, O son of iniquity, for thou art not worthy to enter into the rest of my Father, because thou hast destroyed the works which I have wrought. Then he who was dead arose and departed. You need to scroll up.
Wait. Did you just tell me that Christ kicked him and he woke up?
That's what I just read.
Okay, we're going to keep moving here. Where's my freaking mouse? Okay. So, yeah. So Christ keeps doing this, right? Oh, yeah. Christ goes back and with his words, but Jesus at his own command brought the waters into the pools. So like a little 4-year-old, he had last worditis after he kicked the kid to life. Now, later in here, that kid becomes like his champion in the neighborhood. I don't know what Christ did to him while he was asleep, but apparently it was scary. And it came to pass that after these things, in the sight of all that, Jesus took the mud from the pools which he had made. He made 12 sparrows out of it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing it, universe, right now. And it came to pass that after these things, so it's on a Sunday. So the kids are playing after church on a Sunday, and Christ kills a kid. And then he kicks him to life with his right foot, I might add. And then it comes to pass that Christ goes and makes 12 doves out of the mud of the seven primary chakral points leading to a 12 of organization. And when he therefore said that, they said, hey, now they're talking to Joseph's dad, or Joseph, Christ's dad, because this is from the Joseph gospel, by the way. This is written by Joseph, or it's an observation of Joseph. I'm not going to get into authors here. Okay, so Christ goes, he makes some doves out of mud, bam, they come doves, they fly away. So when Joseph hears this, he goes to Christ saying, hey, Jesus, son, why dost thou in the Sabbath do such a thing? It's not lawful. Jesus, hearing Joseph and clapping his hands together, says to the sparrows, fly. And at the voice of his command, they begin to fly. So have you ever had a kid that just sort of intimidated you because he was smarter than you?
All the time, dear.
I would say, oh, that's not true, but I got to tell you, my 6'8" child is pretty freaking smart. He thinks he's smarter than me, but a lot of people do. You have to be a wizard. So all of us are capable of being Gandalf, by the way. Only if you know that you are. Who's that man that has super in the front of his name? What's his name?
Superman.
Don't make me do it. I'm trying to drive this visualization into everyone that if you really want to ascend, if you really want to ascend and you procrastinate long enough, it will absolutely look like this. Because in your life, in your universe, in your life,
Here it comes, guys.
what can you mean?
There can be only one.
That is the shattering of everything you thought was real.
I remember that day.
You want to scare him? Well, it could happen today, actually. Okay, so now Christ comes in and he says to the muddy sparrows, when we last left our story for a commercial of possible ascension. Oh shit, I got to do the other commercial. And there's all who stood there. Well, he made some sparrows out of mud and they flew away. Would that sort of freak you out?
That would.
So the voice began to fly. And as all who stood there saw and heard it, they said to the birds, go, fly through the globe and all the world and live. That sounds like the dispersion of the 7 tribes of Israel from a spiritual standpoint against all of the universe when he's 4 years old. Oh, I got to find out where that's written. Now, when they who were such signs they saw, they were filled with great amazement, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, let's skip forward. So Joseph, like the whole town comes to Joseph and Mary and says, look, because this is not the only child that Christ slays and brings back to life. He does this like, well, apparently going to play with Jesus, you can't tell him no, and you can't argue with him when you're there. Does that sound a little bit like a relationship with a creator to you?
It does.
Yeah. Oh, here's another account of Joseph having to crap his pants. I respect Joseph far too much to go back and read the part where he has the conversation with Mary and says, what are you going to do? You're his mother. I am not going to tell him no. When you've scared the shit out of your parents. Is that this song right here? So, I'm going to get in trouble for this. I can get this in one search. So there's a clip from a Van Halen song that is "The Cradle Will Rock." I think this is the description of Christ trying to get his work done while his parents are all pissed. If there's a point that says, have you seen Junior's grades? And the Junior's grades are him killing all these people and then bringing them back to life. Then Joseph trembled and took hold of Jesus and went with him to the house, and his mother, this is another kid that he's killed, with him. And behold, suddenly from the opposite side, a certain boy himself, also a worker of iniquity, ran and thrust himself against the shoulder of Jesus, meaning to insult him or to hurt him. I think it's his older brother who Jesus took out, if he could. But Jesus says to him, thou shalt not return whole from the way in which thou goest. And he immediately fell down and died. The parents of the dead who had seen what was done cried out, saying, whence is this child born? It is manifest that every word he saith is true. Okay, this is Jesus at 4. It is even often accomplished before he speaketh. So once again, play devil's advocate, so to speak. Your neighbor just killed your kid and called him evil and said he wouldn't even come back from the afterlife. And the parents of the dead boy came to Joseph and said to him, take away the Jesus of thine of this place, for he cannot dwell with us in this town. He can't teach, or indeed teach him to bless and not to curse. What a good idea. Your child is strong and able, but he keeps accidentally killing other kids in the neighborhood. Is that what she just said?
It is.
Okay, well, here's what Joseph does. Joseph goes to Zacchaeus. You ever heard of Zacchaeus in the Bible?
No.
You can do your own research here. Zacchaeus is he's an important guy. So we'll find out who Zacchaeus is. They'll give us some bio on it, but you're going to find him even in the 66 book Bible. Now a certain teacher, a Jew by the name of Zacchaeus, heard Jesus say such words. See that there was inseparable knowledge of virtue in him. He became angry and without restraint and foolishly, without fear, to speak against Joseph. And he said, "Now Jesus, the 4-year-old." Is not just saying poo-poo pants in the living room while watching cartoons, but he is killing kids and bringing them back to life. I would say that's a little communicatorially disruptive, isn't it? Maybe? Okay, so Zacchaeus comes forward and says, I'll do it. I'll give thy son instruction in human wisdom and respect. I'll teach that boy some respect. You send him out here to the farm. I'll make him throw hay. And then he says, spare the rod, spoil the child. But I see that if thou, Mary, will rather love your son, but the elders, the people say in opposition, for he ought more to honor us, the elders, the whole church. Okay, let's fast forward here. Zacchaeus gets Christ. Here's what Christ says to him. When Jesus heard what Zacchaeus said, he answered him and said, the precepts of the law, yeah, they mentioned a little while ago, all that thou hast named. Because Zacchaeus comes at the person of Christ as a 4-year-old. So now I have an adult with a throwdown with a 4-year-old. Talk about TikTok worthy content. So when Jesus heard what Zacchaeus said, he says to him, number one, the precepts of the law, which thou did mention a little while ago, and all that thou hast named ought to be kept by those who are taught by the rules of men. But I am an alien to your courts. I have no carnal parent. So what Christ just says here is 4. He says, yeah, I know you think that's my dad over my shoulder. No. Swing and a miss. Thou who readest the law art instructed, so remainest in the law. But I was before the law. But while thou thinkest that thou hast no equal learning, Zacchaeus is supposed to be the farthest mother sucker, right? He's supposed to be able to go in there and hit every note of every orchestra of every part of Scripture. Nope. Thou will be instructed by me, says the 4-year-old. And no other can teach aught but the things which thou hast named. Oh, let's go through it. For he is able who is worthy. When I've been exalted on the earth, I will cause the mention of your genealogy to cease. Thou knowest not when thou was born. The 4-year-old. The 4-year-old just threatened to erase this entire guy's genealogical line.
That's a big piece.
That's a little intimidating. Thou knowest not when thou was born, but I alone know when ye were born, and how long your life is on the earth. Then all who heard these words uttered astonished and cried out, saying, Oh, this is marvelously great and admirable mystery. That never did we hear in this wise. Never was heard by any other, neither by the prophets nor the Pharisees, nor by the scribes, was it ever said or heard. We know him whence he was born, and he is scarcely 5 years old. When did he say these words? The Pharisees answered, we never heard such words spoken by another child at such a childish age. Jesus answers, he says, wonder ye at this, that such things are spoken by a child? Why then do ye not believe me in the things which I have spoken to you? Because I'm 4, maybe, just maybe because I'm 4. And because I said to you, I know when you were born, ye all marvel. I'll say more to you. You may marvel more. I have seen Abraham, whom ye call your father, and talked with him. Yeah, he saw me. And when they heard this, they're silent. Nor dare any of them dare to speak. I think they might have heard about the fact that he slew some children. Yeah, he says to him, I was among you with the children, and ye know me not. I have talked with you as with wise men, and you've not understood my voice, because you're inferior to me. And of little faith, the 4-year-old says. So Joseph is dealing with social problems in his town because his son keeps killing children and then kicking them back to life and saying, "You're a shithead." So Joseph takes him to the best shrink, the Dr. Phil of the age, Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus is a stud. He is a doctor of the law. He comes to Joseph and says to the parents of Jesus, "Give me the boy. Give me the boy. Hand him over to me." The teacher of Levi. Levi is a stud boy in the Old Testament. This guy taught Levi. Okay? This is like the wizard from Nebraska or whatever they call the investor stupid guy. That's Levi. This guy taught him, Zacchaeus. So Zacchaeus says, "Give me the boy. let me have him." So Mary says, "I'll do this." Levi told her one letter to Jesus. The first letter, Alpha, he says to him, "Oh, wait. Zacchaeus has Jesus in his clutch. He's about to give him the Rocky Balboa chase the chicken speech. Rock, you got to go out there and get it done." Nope. Jesus says nothing. Wherefore, the preceptor Levi, being angry, he took a lot of a straw tree and smote him in the head. Okay. Jesus says to Levi, "Why don't you smite me? You get back to Zacchaeus." Okay. Now, when Levi heard this, he was amazed at such an arrangement of the names of the letters. Oh, I thought it was Zacchaeus that he gives the school to. No, he goes back to Levi. Okay. So this guy taught Levi, so he sends his boy in. It's like the coach sending in his best fighter. Wherefore, the preceptor Levi, being angry, he takes a stick and he smotes him in the head. Jesus says to the teacher Levi, "Why dost thou smite me?" It looks like he smote him in the head. Does that mean he killed him and he came back to life in like 4 seconds? Because he's still 5 years old. So the first thing that the other guy does is come and kill him. I know in truth that he who is smitten rather than teacheth him who smiteth him. It's taught by him. Yeah, I am able to teach thee what is said by thyself. You're looking to scripture for answer. I am he. Did I stutter? Christ is still 5. But these are all blind. Who say in here like sounding brass or tinkling cymbal in which there's no consciousness of things which are understood by sound. Jesus adds, he says to Zacchaeus, every letter from Aleph to Tau is known by its order. This is supposed to be Alpha and Omega or Alpha and Zeta. What do I do when I want to make something hard to know? I confuse it. I change its name. Alpha to Aleph to Tau is known by its order, though therefore first say what is Tau. Start at the end. Tau is the last letter in the alphabet he's referring to. And I will tell you what Aleph is, what the A is. If you start at the end, I'll give you the beginning. Jesus said again to them, they know not what A is, Aleph, and they can say Z, hypocrites. First I say what A is. Oh, you're going to believe me when I say B. When I get to A, you're going to know what B smells like. Jesus began to ask the names of the separate letters and said to the teachers of the law, say what the first letter is, or why it hath many triangles, scales, acute angles, equiangular, unequal sided with unequal angles, rectangular, rectilinear, and curvilinear. The 5-year-old Christ is giving a math lesson on physics and geometry in the middle of spanking Levi with why his words are his words. Levi hears this, he's amazed. And it's a 5-year-old. The 5-year-old doesn't just know the letters, he knows everything about him. He began hearing of all of it. This is Levi to cry out and say, "Oh, how you live upon earth? Verily, he deserves to be hung on a great cross." We're a couple of years away from this, right? Christ is still 5. I think he was before the flood. He was born before the deluge. What womb bore him, or what mother conceived him, or what breast gave him suck? I flee before him, for I cannot endure the word of his mouth. But my heart is astounded at such words. I think no man can attain his words, except God hath been with him. Now, wretched I have yielded myself to him for derision. I thought I had a scholar. I found my master, not knowing him. What shall I say? I cannot endure the words of this boy. I will now flee from this town. I cannot understand these things. An old man, unconquered by a child. Did I lose you over there, Brandy? Did I put you to sleep?
No, you didn't lose me.
Well, you know my special talent is being the human ambient. If anyone with the sound of my voice can't sleep, go to the archive and
Find a video.
The Book of the 12 or Jasher. Jasher, I put a lot of people to sleep with Jasher.
Well, you're 5 minutes past your sponsor time.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do a commercial and then we're going to close. Here's my commercial. We have a sponsor. What's the name of our sponsor, Brandy?
Anti-aging bed.
And if you look down in the bottom, there's a discount code there. G as in giant for the discount code. They do this really well. These people are fantastic. I love this picture right here. We do a lot of cymatics. Hey, what's cymatics? This is cymatics. You can buy things that do it in your house. That looks like a Tesla coil. Oh, wait, it is. You can buy one right now. It involves frequency. And then there's grounding, of course, which 8 hours a day. You spend 8 hours a day in front of your desk. There's stuff for your desk. You spend 8 hours sleeping, hopefully. But if you spend it grounded, you will feel better immediately. It'll help your immune system and all that good stuff. And hey, producer lady, is that enough commercial?
Yes, their phone number is scrolling in the bottom of your screen.
Excellent. Thank you. So I'd like to do a little bit more of this. I'd like some feedback. I put the PDF of it locals. I think it went up on one of the other platforms, maybe Cloud Hub. But is this interesting? I mean, should we need more of this process?
Let's ask the audience. Y'all want more?
I don't know. Give me a comment. Give me some feedback. I love this stretch of scripture. Studio audience wants more. We will be back and we will pick up where we left off. If that's okay with you, Brandy.
That's okay with me.
Okay, well, my studio audience is completely 100% unanimous.
And so can you see that? Yes. They want more.
Okay. I can't see it because I don't ever look at that.
I pay attention for you. How's that?
Okay. So let's tell everyone what you need. 15 minutes, babe. What you need?
Yeah, 15 minutes will be cool.
Roger that. We'll be back.
Are you finished?
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Good night, everyone.